You already know something is wrong. Deep down, beneath the excuses, beneath the distractions, beneath the comfortable version of yourself that you show to the world, you feel it when you wake up and immediately reach for your phone instead of your purpose. You feel it when another day ends and absolutely nothing has changed. Another sunset wasted. Another promise broken to yourself. Another quiet, painful betrayal of the man you were always supposed to become. Be honest. How many times have you told yourself that tomorrow would be different? How many tomorrows have come and silently gone while you stayed exactly where you were? Most people live their entire lives trapped inside this loop. And what's truly terrifying is that they don't even realize it. They mistake busyness for progress. They mistake comfort for peace. They confuse merely surviving with actually living. And slowly, without warning, without noise, they become complete strangers to their own greatest potential. But this is where most people fail. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for someone to give them permission to finally become great. And in that dangerous waiting, they lose years they will never get back. But you, right now in this exact moment, are about to understand something that permanently changes everything. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, because the man you are truly capable of becoming is already watching, and he is losing patience. Over 2,000 years ago, a man named Marcus Aurelius sat alone at the edge of a war, emperor of the greatest empire the world had ever seen. And yet, every single morning before dawn, he wrote these words to himself, not for history, but for survival. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Seneca understood it too. He said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And Epictetus, once a slave, a man who owned absolutely nothing, became the most psychologically free man who ever lived. He chose his response every single time. Almost nobody realizes this, but the foundation of every transformation you will ever make begins not in the gym, not in the books. It begins in the mind. And what happens next changes everything. Lesson 1. Discipline over motivation. Here is the first lesson, and most men never truly learn it. Motivation is a liar. It visits you in emotional moments and disappears precisely when you need it most. You feel it at midnight, watching videos like this one. And by morning, it is gone. Like smoke. Like it was never even real. But discipline is different. Discipline is the quiet agreement you make with yourself when no one is watching. When it is cold. When you are exhausted. When every part of your mind and body is screaming at you to stop. Weak men wait for motivation. Disciplined men build systems. Marcus Aurelius did not wake before dawn because he felt inspired. He woke because he had made a permanent decision about who he was going to be, before the choice ever felt easy. Have you noticed this pattern in your own life? Because the deeper truth goes much further than you think. Lesson 2. Training your body is training your mind. The second lesson will permanently change how you see your own body. Your body is not just flesh and muscle. It is philosophy made physical. Every single repetition you push through when you desperately want to quit is a direct message to your mind. A message that declares, I am not controlled by comfort. I am not broken by pain. I decide. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew the body and the mind are not separate systems. They are one single instrument. How you treat one becomes how you experience the other. When you train with real discipline, when you show up to that workout at 5 a.m. with cold eyes and quiet purpose, you are not simply building muscle. You are building character. You are building the undeniable evidence that you can be trusted with greater responsibilities. And this next lesson connects directly to that, and it is the one most people completely skip over. Lesson 3. Studying is warfare. The third lesson is this. Your mind is a battlefield. Every hour you choose to study, to read, to learn, to sharpen your understanding of this world, you are winning a war that most people don't even know is being fought. A war against ignorance. A war against stagnation. A war against the version of you that quietly stopped growing. Seneca wrote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This was not a casual suggestion. It was a command from a man who understood that an untrained mind is a prison, no matter how free the body surrounding it appears to be. Most men avoid books. They avoid deep thought. They scroll instead of studying. And slowly, almost invisibly, they fall irreversibly behind. Not in one dramatic moment, but one distracted, wasted hour at a time. What if this has been silently holding you back for years? Now stop, just for 1 second. We are halfway through this journey, and what is coming in the second half is significantly more powerful than what you have already heard. But right now, drop a comment below. Type "unrecognizable" if this is hitting something real inside you. Let the algorithm know you are here. Let yourself know you are serious. This is your first small act of public commitment. Because lesson 4, the one coming next, is what truly separates the discipline from everyone else. And almost nobody fully applies it. Lesson 4, silence is your weapon. Lesson 4. And this one will make you genuinely uncomfortable. Stop announcing your transformation. Stop posting about your grind before you have actually ground anything. Stop telling the world what you are becoming before you have become it. In a world completely addicted to external validation, silence is your single greatest weapon. Marcus Aurelius kept his deepest reflections in a private journal, not for an audience, for himself alone, because he understood that real power is internal. Real growth is quiet. Real transformation has never needed an audience. There's a psychological phenomenon called social reality. When you announce your goals to others, your brain registers them as partially achieved. The satisfaction of sharing replaces the satisfaction of doing, and you stop before you ever truly begin. Very few people apply this lesson, but the ones who do, they become unrecognizable, quietly, dangerously, permanently, and deep down. Don't you already know this is true? Lesson 5. Kill your old self completely. The 5th lesson is perhaps the most brutal one you will hear today. You must kill the old version of yourself. Not metaphorically, not gently, completely, because that old version, the one who made excuses, who slept late, who scrolled endlessly instead of building, who feared instead of acted, that version is not simply your past. If you are not careful and deliberate, it remains your future. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This is the philosophy of total personal responsibility. No victim, no blame, no waiting for the world to become easier. The death of your old self is not a loss to mourn. It is the greatest gift you can ever give your future. Every habit you break, every excuse you silence, every morning you rise before the world, you are attending the quiet funeral of a lesser man. But this is where most people fail. They grieve the old self instead of burying it. Lesson 6. Consistency is the only shortcut, and this one destroys every excuse you have remaining. There is no secret method. There is no hidden shortcut. There is no single perfect moment of discipline that transforms you overnight in some dramatic revelation. There's only this: doing the necessary work again, and again, and again, day after consecutive day. When it is boring, when it is painful, when you see absolutely no visible progress and the silence around you feels like failure. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not beautiful content. It does not trend anywhere. But it is the only force in this universe that reliably transforms ordinary, average men to extraordinary, legendary ones. The jinn does not reward those who try once. The book does not grant wisdom to those who read a single page. The skill does not bow to those who practice briefly and then quit. It bows only to those who return. Every day, without exception, without waiting for applause. Lesson 7. Become unrecognizable. The seventh and final lesson. This is the one that ties every single previous lesson together. And this is precisely the one most people never reach, because they quietly surrendered somewhere in the previous 6. Becoming unrecognizable is not about changing only how you look. It is about fundamentally changing what you are. It is about reaching a point where the people who knew the old you, the tired, distracted, excuse-making version, genuinely cannot recognize who is now standing before them. Not because of your body alone, not because of your accumulated wealth, but because of your energy, your stillness, your absolute clarity, your controlled, quiet, devastating sense of purpose that fills every single room you enter. This is what Stoicism was always pointing toward. Not philosophy for its own sake, but philosophy as transformation, as a sharpened weapon, as a complete way of life. And it begins with one single decision, made in silence. Right now, you are running out of time. Not in a dramatic, cinematic way. In a slow, quiet, deeply serious way that most men refuse to honestly confront. Every day that passes without real effort quietly whispers to your soul, you are not serious. And eventually, dangerously, you begin to believe it. You begin to live as though smallness is your actual destiny. But it is not your destiny. It never was. It never will be. The discipline is available to you right now. The books are available. The training is available. The silence, the focus, the relentless daily commitment to becoming someone extraordinary, all of it exists within your reach today. The only real question is whether you are willing to actually reach for it. Most people will watch these words and feel something genuine. Very few will act. Which one are you? There is a version of you that wakes before the sun rises. That trains without needing to be asked. That studies without needing to be watched. That builds in complete silence and speaks only through his undeniable results. That has made genuine peace with discomfort and declared permanent war on mediocrity. That version of you is not a fantasy. He is not some distant, unreachable ideal. He is not patiently waiting for a better season or a different life circumstance. He is standing exactly one committed decision away from where you are right now. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present, not yesterday's regret, not tomorrow's fear. This breath, this choice, this moment, train, study, become unrecognizable. Not for the world, not for their approval. For you, for the man you have always known, deep inside, that you were meant to be. Go become him." If this video reached something real inside you, subscribe to Anonymous Achiever right now. Every single day, we release content designed to make you think deeper, train harder, and live with stoic purpose. Drop a comment. Share this with someone who needs it today. The man you become is decided right now.